we're in my hometown of Houston, Texas, where I'm about to show you guys one of my favorite local hotspots. Let's go check it out. Got a beer snob in your life? Then bring them here. From a Cougar Paw to a People's Champ to a Rocket Fuel, 8th Wonder Brewery has got one of the most unique and tasty beer selections in the entire state of Texas. So we're in the heart of downtown Houston. What brought you guys to this location?
Really blind luck. We were looking for a place for our brewery, and when I thought brewery, the first thing that came to mind was industrial and urban, and we lucked out, found a spot, and when we signed a lease here in 2011, this was not a place where people were hanging out. Yeah. But fast forward now to 2018, and this neighborhood is booming. We're walking distance to 3 major sports stadiums. There's bars and restaurants opening up all around us. People are moving into the neighborhood. It's really an exciting time for this neighborhood, and we're proud to be a part of it.
Nice. And then the names. That's the main thing that stood out to me. Is the names are kind of Houston-based.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously,
a lot of
Houston.
them are, and again, just inspired by the city, and we're just some nods to Houston and some other history around us.
So do y'all take suggestions?
We have. We're open to them. Sometimes we have a name and then we'll kind of design a beer to fit that name. And other times we have a recipe and then we got to kind of scramble and find a name to fit that recipe. But yeah, we're open to suggestions. You got something for us?
So it was a drive here. So what came to my mind, YOLO Texas. I think that's a great name for a beer.
Great co-branding opportunity here. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Right on.
So I hear I'm gonna get a sneak peek to see where all the magic happens.
Absolutely. Let's go meet my partner Aerin. He's the brewmaster here, and he can give you a full tour.
Okay, nice.
Right
excited.
On.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Right on.
So we're standing in our brew house. We actually have a 20-barrel brew house, which means this vessel can make about 40 kegs of beer at one time. So right behind you, we have our mash tun. This is where we're converting starch into sugar, making a liquid called wort. Wort is beer before we add the yeast. So we take about a ton of grain, we crack it open, exposing the starch in the ovule. We'll pipe it over here through an auger system, combine it with hot water, a process called mashing. The enzymes will convert those starches into sugars. We'll then, after mashing, bring it over here to the boil kettle. We'll take that wort, bring it up to a boil. We'll add hops in different stages. We'll give it a little bit of a rest. We'll send it over to the fermenters. We'll cool it down from 212 degrees to about 68 degrees. It's actually a very fast process. We can do that in about 8 seconds.
Will I be able to get my hands on it to kind of help out with this whole scientific beer making process?
Absolutely. In a few minutes, we're gonna be graining out. We're gonna take that grain that we've converted into sugar, all the spent grain, the husks and the stuff we don't need, we'll go ahead and we'll put that into barrels, give it to farmers so they can use it as feed or compost.
So drink beer, you're doing good things for farmers and for the environment. First things first, I gotta change out my boots before I start. Now these boots were made for walking.
So we've converted all the starch into sugar that we need. We've then transferred it over to the brew kettle. We've done a process called sparging, where we go ahead and rinse that grain bed with a little extra water, making sure we remove all the fermentables.
Okay.
Now it is just a whole bunch of spent grain. We'll be pulling that out, and you'll actually be raking that out of the mash tun.
Experience together, let's do this. Ready to top this barrel off. This is a great arm workout.
There you go. That's good.
That's good? Okay, I got excited. I wanted to do more. All right, guys, so I'm here with Justin, the taproom manager. So, Justin, I hear we are going to be trying a few beers from this flight here. Can you tell me a little bit about each one?
I sure can. The first one you're going to taste is going to be our Dome Foam. That's going to be like our signature flagship one. That's the one that's in all the stadiums. It's kind of an easy drinker. The next one's going to be Intellectual. That's going to be our Wit Blonde. The next one's going to be Cougar Paw, which is our red ale. A little bit dark in color, but also drinks light. And then the next one I have for you is going to be Rocket Fuel, our Vietnamese coffee porter.
Dome Foam.
Dome Foam.
It's delicious. It's like, reminds me of summer and sunshine. Intellectual.
Wit Blonde.
It still goes down smooth, but you can taste it as soon as it hits your palate.
So then we get a little darker.
Okay.
That's our red ale, our Cougar Paw.
Cougar, so like U of H Cougar?
It is.
Okay, Okay, so I'm not a big dark beer drinker, but this is not difficult to drink at all.
I know a lot
Really
of people are scared of the dark beers, but this one kind of lets them in and like, hey, dark beers can be easy drinking as well.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like an introductory one. The next one's a little special. This one is our Vietnamese coffee porter. So if you like coffee, you're gonna love this beer.
Okay, I like coffee, but I add a lot of sugar and cream.
There is
So let's see.
there is some milk sugar added to it, so it's gonna be sweet as well.
Oh my gosh. This is
You're
like
gonna drink the whole thing.
I'm gonna drink the whole thing. This is really good. After these beers, I think I need some food.
I would look no further than outside. We have the Easty Boys food truck out there. You should try the Texas Day Cubano. That's my favorite.
A little smoked ham on there, Swiss cheese, Dijon mustard, pickles, classic Cubano with a little Texas twist with that barbecue on there. Order up for Tessa.
This is so good. It's like a Texas grilled cheese. It's delicious. It's amazing. All right, guys, that does it for me here at 8th Wonder Brewery. If you are ever in the Houston area, you've got to come check this place out. Great beer, great food, great people. Overall, a great place to hang out. And when you come, don't forget to tell them YOLO Texas sent you. Later.
Want to check out 8th Wonder Brewery for yourself? Visit 8thwonder.com to learn more. Hey y'all, welcome back to YOLO Texas. We've been counting down our top favorite YOLO picks for distilleries and breweries, and our next destination is proving they've got just what it takes to thrive in the Austin community. And our resident expert, JV Sauceda, is there to try some of the best ale at St. Elmo Brewery.
So today we're at the Yard, which is one of South Austin's newest big retail developments. Happens to be home to my office for Texas Humor, one of my favorite coffee shops, and most importantly, my favorite brewery. So why don't you come along with me? We'll grab a quick coffee, take a walk through our operations, and then we'll go grab a beer to round out the day.
The Yard was formerly an industrial warehouse complex, but now features a great mix of retail offices and warehouses like ours.
Almost daily, I stop in for a cold Americano to go from my friends at Spokesman. Thanks so much. So when we first moved in, we were in this facility right here, and we were in about 3,200 square feet. Now we've got 8,000 here, 10,000 in the back, which is where all the Texas Humor gear is, and then a few more thousand up in the front where our offices are now located. So at least once a day, I normally go grab a coffee, try to walk through our warehouses where all the Texas Humor products ship from, so that's what you're seeing here on the shelf. But then I round out the afternoon with meetings, mostly about design, social media, and all things Texas. So this is the shirt that started it all. It's our Ain't Texas. Everybody's seen this at least once. If you haven't, then you need to go to texashumor.com and buy one.
Our Texas Humor office is where we do our design, social media, and customer service work, when we're not over enjoying beer at St. Elmo. Opened in 2016, St. Elmo Brewing Company is the perfect balance of fun, innovative, and delicious, offering a huge variety of unique, thought-provoking brews that'll satisfy even the pickiest of beer connoisseurs. And up first, we met with owners Tim Bullock and Brian Winslow to get the inside scoop on this one-of-a-kind brewery.
I think both Brian and I really wanted a place that felt kind of like a backyard, like something that wouldn't be completely industrial. It seemed like you were in a fabricating place.
Yeah.
We wanted to be relatively comfortable, and that was like a focus for this whole scene right there.
Yeah. One of the most important things that we really tried to focus on in the early times was keeping it open, which is really important for us. You know, one of our kind of mantras in creating the brewery was breaking down the barrier between the brewer and the drinker, create an open dialogue, and the only way to do that is to make the brewery open. Well, I think the first thing is the name. I mean, St. Elmo was a town like 130 years ago. It was a village of like 90 people, and then they named the street after it. Now the whole district is named St. Elmo.
So we've covered all the details. Can you guys give us a view behind the curtain and show us a little bit more about the beer?
Sure, let's do it. So right now we're standing and it's called the brew house. Think of brewing as kind of having two parts. There's a hot side and there's cold side. Right, we're gonna mash, mix grain and hot water.
Yeah.
Then we're going to lauter, separate the grain from the water. And then we're gonna run all of that mash water called wort into the kettle where we're gonna boil, sterilize it, we're gonna add hops, gonna add flavor and bitterness and all that kind of stuff. Okay. And then what we're gonna do is go to cold side. We're gonna cool it down And that's where honestly I think the magic happens. And that's where you give it to yeast, and yeast is gonna start to create more flavors and turn all that sugar water that we made into alcohol and CO2.
There is no time like fermentation time.
All these beers are only available here. And one of the things that we focus on at St. Elmo is the concept of fresh beer. Just like produce, it is best here. And so all this beer travels from where we were in the brew house through the cellar to the tap wall. It's about 50 feet from where it started and where you're drinking it.
If chemistry class had been anything like this in high school, I would have definitely had an A. It's so amazing that you can take so few ingredients and so few processes and end up with so many different types of beer. It's pretty cool. I really appreciate you walking me through, checking out the brewing process, but most importantly, we're gonna get to the beer.
So this is Karl Kolsch. It's a traditional German-style ale. It's not quite a lager, not quite an ale. It's kind of its own thing, and it really, really works well for hot Texas summers, which of course we get 9 months out of the year.
Yeah, this is my favorite. It's really crisp and fresh and light, and yeah, I don't feel like I'm drinking lunch with it. Yeah,
beer's not anything if not really fun, and we always try to include a little bit of humor in everything that we do.
Yeah.
And so this one is named kind of in honor of Amber, which is a 311 song, so that's the reason why the beer is named that way. We decided to make this one, which is kind of like POW cut in half.
Okay.
So half of a POW is a pew pew.
Yeah.
And so that's what that one is.
Okay, so on to the steak beer.
Yeah,
the Angus.
The steak beer.
All
we
right.
want to have chocolate cake. This is what we'll have it with.
So in addition to some amazing beer, St. Elmo Brewing Company is also home to some amazing food options thanks to the folks in the Soursop food truck that's right over here. Smell great. You ever find yourself on the south side of Austin, Texas, make sure that you stop by St. Elmo Brewing Co. and enjoy yourself like I am. Adios, y'all.
Want to check out St. Elmo Brewery Company for yourself? Just visit the link below to learn more. Hey y'all, welcome back to the show. So as we head into a brand new season of YOLO Texas, we're taking you through some of our top picks for distilleries over the past year. And up next, we make our way to Denison to check out a place that's been making quite a name for itself in the world of whiskey. So get ready y'all, because we're on our way to Ironroot Republic. For a small town, Denison has a reputation for being the starting point of some pretty incredible success stories. Which brings us to Ironroot Republic Distillery to check out the latest success story out here in Denison. And they're actually getting so big that they won Whiskey Magazine's award for best corn whiskey in the entire world. So yeah, we gotta check it out. Let's go. To give me a better idea of what I was looking at, I met up with one of the owners, Jonathan, here at Ironroot Republic.
Let me show you around.
Yeah, neat space. All right, Jonathan, before we get into the whiskeys, I do have to ask, how did the whole idea of Ironroot come about?
Well, it started first when we wandered into a distillery in Spokane, Washington. Figured out that you could make your own whiskey legally and just fell in love with the process.
We're about to take a tour, but what else are we going to be doing here today?
We're gonna do the tour. Hopefully we're gonna crack into some barrels and see what's inside on those. Maybe check some proof on some things, do a couple other things too.
All right, I like the sounds of that. You ready to go?
Absolutely.
All right.
All right, so this is where the process first starts, which is with the grain. So what we have here is 1,300 pounds of milled corn.
This looks like sand, but it's actually corn, huh?
That's a lot of corn.
Cool.
All right, so all the grains that we just saw in back are going to actually end up in this tank first.
All right.
This is going to be called our mash tank.
From mashing to fermentation and to distilling, these guys, they really know their stuff. So much so, they had an interesting take into naming their still.
This one's called Jim Bowie.
Okay.
That's because this one comes from Vendome Copper and Brass in Kentucky, and so hopefully it's going to die in Texas.
Gotcha, that's good.
Yeah.
And next, it was off to the barrel room to give it all a try.
Right now we have well over 400 barrels back here.
Wowzers.
So today we're going to show you some of our favorites. I'm going to go ahead and take this bung off here for you. There we go.
There you go.
Go ahead and pull some out.
You don't mind?
Absolutely.
Okay. So just hand here.
And then just ease it right out.
Oh shoot, look at that, y'all. If there's bubbles, is that okay?
Oh, you're perfect.
Okay.
Just keep going and I will catch. That was the best first time I've ever seen.
Seriously?
Yep, there you go. Perfect pour.
I'm just gonna leave it there.
That'll be great.
Cheers, y'all. Granger. Woo. That is whiskey. Woo. It's pretty rare when you can say you've had the best in the world of something, but that one little sip made the whole trip worth it. All right, that's gonna do it for us here at Ironroot Republic Distillery. If you're ever in the Denison area, make sure to check out their whiskeys, maybe have an old fashioned. Thank you so much to Jonathan for having us out, showing us around. In the meantime, we're just gonna have a drink, call it a day. Cheers. Cheers, y'all. Cheers. Want to learn more about Ironroot Republic and their line of whiskey and spirits? Visit ironrootrepublic.com. Hey y'all, welcome back to YOLO Texas. So we have made it to our final pick for Texas Spirits and Brews, and this one is a family-owned distillery that's been making its spirits with two very unlikely ingredients. Can you guess what they are? Let's find out as we make our way to Comfort, Texas, home of the Hill Country Distillers. Comfort, Texas, located in the beautiful Texas Hill Country and home to, well, Hill Country Distillers, a unique and growing distillery owned by husband and wife team John and Casey Kovacs.
Well, we've been open 3.5 years and the industry is exploding. We have some really unique attributes and I think our distillery really showcases some of the uniqueness. What we do is very different than what anyone else is doing. Our main product that we make most of our alcohol from is a prickly pear cactus pad. There can't be anything more Texas than that. Our only other base ingredient is a jalapeno pepper.
Well, thank you so much, John. Can't wait to get in the back there. You ready to go?
Absolutely. You'll go see some things you've never seen before. So this is the distillery. This is where all the magic happens.
Perfect.
It's a very small place, but you'd be surprised how much stuff we get done right inside here.
Wonderful.
Okay, and so this is the first not fun job that we have. This is James Stout, our head distiller, and this is his first bad job of the day, chopping up the cactus that they just went out and harvested at the ranches around here. All right, we're on to the second dirty job of the day. Our other product that we make is made from jalapeno peppers instead of cactus. So he will chop up by hand 100 pounds of jalapenos at a time.
2, 1, whoever gets to enjoy that one, made with love. And once all the ingredients were ready, it was time to make some spirits.
So what we have cooking today is a batch of the cactus.
Okay.
So after the 20 days, it goes in there. You know, most vodkas are distilled 7, 8, 9 times to make them smooth.
Yeah.
We do it in a single run.
Wow. Ooh, that'll wake you up. Woo, I think it's ready.
It's right in the sweet spot of the hearts right now. All right, now that you've seen how we make it, let's go in and try some of the good stuff that comes out of these barrels.
Let's do it.
So this is our tasting room and our bar where
Wonderful.
everybody gets to enjoy the product. You really get to taste the good Texas stuff now.
Oh, yeah.
And I promise you this is going to be different than anything you've ever had. So this is our Texas prickly pear spirit. If you smell it, you get a little smell of tequila, but you don't get the harshness of tequila.
I was gonna say, yeah, I got like a tequila taste to that.
Now, you want to try a complete cocktail? We can step over to the bar.
Let's do it. Well, thank you so much for your hospitality. This has been a fun trip out to Comfort, Texas. I can't wait to come back and really enjoy myself, if you know what I mean, without the cameras here. So cheers.
There you go.
Cheers, y'all. Want to visit Hill Country Distillers for yourself? Well, visit hillcountrytxdistillers.com for more information.